So this is Blaine Stribling. I've got Henry Beckett here. He's a sophomore here at Highland Park, and he is a starter on the Highland Park team this year. And Henry, having said that, how do you handle the pressure of being it's hard to be a starter if you're an underclassman, whether you're a junior, but you're actually a sophomore. And so how do you handle the pressure with being on a team with a bunch of upperclassmen?
I think I just want to thank the upperclassmen because they're always like reassuring me and getting me ready before the game and just like helping calm me down. And we always say a team prayer for the game. I think that helps me, and yeah.
Okay. So your family spent some time over in Puerto Rico, and I'm assuming you played a lot of basketball over there. So tell me, did that experience over there help or hurt your basketball game for what you're doing right now?
I think it helped. It was a different environment. I got to the basketball gyms are always outside, so it was always hot when you're playing. So I guess it helped me get good conditioning. And we played on 8.5 rim until 7th grade, so that was fun. I mean, I guess that you could argue it hindered or helped my game, but I don't think it hindered my game at all living in Puerto Rico.
Okay.
It was just fun there.
So, Henry, you had a brief stint on JV this season, and so how did you bounce back from that, and what did you learn from the experience? Because it was really early in the season when that happened.
Yeah. I just want to thank Coach Snowden for looking out for me during that time and just supporting me. And I learned that you just got to keep a good positive attitude and support and encourage your teammates all the time and always work hard, always work your hardest.
That's great. So you're currently your stats are you're averaging 10.3 points per game. You're averaging 5.3 rebounds per game. Both are second on the team, and you're also second in 3-point percentage. You're shooting almost 40% from the 3-point line. So since you're the second leading scorer and rebounder on the team, how has your skill set meshed with the skill sets of the team that's in place right now?
I'm just trying to do whatever is best for the team so that we win. And I don't really care about the points rebounds. I'm just trying to do what helps us get the dub.
Okay. And everybody says, I believe this, that you're the best inside-outside player on the team. You got good outside game, and you can also take it inside. So, what training and regiment have you done in the recent future or the recent past to make you a better outside and inside player, all around good player game?
I just work on my shot a lot, always practicing my form shooting and my threes, and the rest has just been coming naturally, I guess. I mean, I've always been good inside the paint because that's where I started playing, and I've just been trying to expand my game, and my dad's been helping me out with that. Okay.
So the last game against Halton, congratulations on the victory. You played awesome, by the way. Scored 14 points. So it looked to me like you did a lot of mid-range in that game. Was that part of the game plan against Halton? Was shooting mid-range? Did Coach Peeler give you guys kind of the green light to do some of that?
We worked on mid-range this whole week, so when it got in the game, it felt pretty natural. Usually we don't shoot the mid-range, but this week he made us practice it a lot, and I think it just helped me give me my confidence to shoot it in the game.
Okay, you had a nice several floaters there at the top of the free throw line. You had an amazing game. I think you and Jordan Stribling had the same. You led the team with 14 points. So who on the team is the biggest prankster beside yourself? I've heard that you're a big prankster, but who else on the team is a big prankster?
I want to shout out my boy Maxwell Taylor. He's my partner in crime.
So what do you think you have to do personally against Plano East? They're the number 1 ranked team in state. We played against them in the second game of the season. What do you feel like you need to do to have a better showing than what we did the first time we played against them?
I think we just need to play harder. It was also our first game of the season, so we were kind of getting used to the flow of things. But personally, I think I just need to rebound and just play as hard as I can.
So kind of in conjunction with that, so what is different about our team right now relative to the beginning of the season? What differences have you seen as the season has gone long in the team itself?
I think we've just grown a lot as a team. I think our defense has gotten a lot better. I remember the first time we played Plano East, our defense, we went in a 1-3-1 zone. It wasn't great. Next practice, Coach Peeler really helped us get it in check. I think our 1-3-1 zone and defense in general just got a lot better since then. And I think we've gotten a lot better as a team for rebounding, because the first game against Plano East, we gave up 18 offensive rebounds, or 17, which is a ton. But I think if we do a good job of keeping them off the glass this game, we could make it a good game.
So is there anybody on the team that is kind of like the hype man, gives hype speeches before the game? Anybody come to mind?
First person that comes to mind is Roman. He's always getting us hyped for the game. But Colin's also in there a little bit, getting us hyped sometimes too. It's funny when Colin gets us hyped.
Okay. And here's a question. So you played on JV last year and moved up to varsity. Did different speed, different athleticism out there. And then this last night, you got a taste of going from varsity to playoff varsity. So kind of tell me your perspective on going from JV to varsity up to now playoff varsity.
I think there's a big difference with the speed from JV to varsity and playoff too. I just a lot faster. I remember when I went down to JV at the beginning of the season, when I played that game with them, it just felt a lot slower than compared to how it was before. And in playoffs, it's even faster. It's just running up and down the whole time, giving it all you got. So you get tired pretty fast.
Okay. Well, thanks, Henry. I appreciate your time, and good luck on Friday against Plano East. I hope you guys have a great showing.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm Blaine Stribling here. I'm with Caden Cantrell. He's a junior point guard starter for the Highland Park varsity basketball team, and yeah, Caden, it's been a fun season. The Scots are 25-6 or 25-9 now. We're on an 8-game winning streak. The team started off 4-5, and now we've won 22 out of the last 26 games. So I feel like the team's doing pretty well. You're new to the program. You started off at Prestonwood as a sophomore, and you injured your hand, and through that you missed a lot of the playing time last year. So talk about you going through that process of being injured and going through the rehab and all that.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, all you want to do is play. I was trying to get on the floor as much as possible and battling through that injury. That was tough, but I just got to work and got to work this summer and with a new group of guys, and it was special.
Talk a little bit about the choice to come from Prestonwood over to Highland Park. What did you see in the program, or what did you see? Did you see like an opportunity for you to play?
Well, watching from a distance, I always thought that there's something special about playing for Highland Park. Like looking outside in, very disciplined, very organized, and I was like, I just felt called. Like, this is a very special place, and I always wanted to, be part of something like that.
Okay, great. So you were the new guy to the program. You weren't, and a lot of the guys have played together for a while. You came in this past summer. Your family moved in from Castle Hills into the school district, and you've been thrust into a very important role on the team. You're the starting point guard. So talk to me a little bit about how you've had to adjust coming into a new program and all new players, and talk about how the team has accepted you into the program, and give us some of your thoughts on that.
Yeah, for sure. At first, coming into a new program with a bunch of new faces, it was hard. But the guys took me in, a bunch of good guys. They took me under their wing, and the kids like Jordan helped me out through the way, and I kind of just instantly clicked with the guys, and so they were very relatable, and I felt like as I kind of got more and more comfortable, I could be more and more of myself. So it was good.
Yeah, I could definitely tell from the beginning of the season till now, you seem to be a lot more comfortable in your role. Your confidence has grown as the season has gone along, and that definitely played out last night. I think you took control of the ball, handling it up the floor a lot. So, having said that, being a primary ball handler, how do you keep yourself fresh, or how do you keep yourself motivated and excited when you're the primary ball handler, knowing that you're distributing and you're not necessarily going to score all the points?
Well, I do think it's a very big responsibility. Like, you got to be alert every possession. But I feel like my coaches have done a good job keeping me calm, keeping me ready, giving me those breaks when I need them. So I felt like, yeah, they've done a good job of doing that.
Speaking of distributing, you lead the team in assists with 4.4 assists per game. Your assist to turnover ratio is 1.66, which is second on the team, and your plus minus is 7.7 points, third on the team. So, having said that, looking at the stats and how they have played out this season, is this the first time you've kind of been in that role, being the leading assist man, or have you been on other teams when you haven't been the quote unquote assist guy?
For sure. I've played roles where I've been the main scorer. I've played roles where I've had to distribute, but I really like distributing because it's more of I can kind of see the floor and get my teammates involved, and it's just a fun thing to do. So.
Well, one other thing about your game that I like is I noticed, particularly in the game against Haltom, you got the first 3 rebounds, and so I like to see when a guard, particularly a point guard, is down getting rebounds. So tell me a little bit about that approach, being able to do other things besides distribute the ball.
Well, I'm just a big believer in doing all the little things. Like, every possession counts, and so I just gotta, stay prepared. My teammates are gonna be on me, so I just gotta do everything to win. So, yeah.
So what has been so far this season? What's been the best memory for you this season to date so far?
I would probably say the trip to Athens. That was really the first time I could really say, like, I was all together with the team. It helped me really get connected with the team and really bond with these guys and just know the ins and outs of the team. And so I really think that helped us grow, not just me as a person, but our team as a whole. That's kind of where we took the next step.
Yeah, so let's talk about some of the close games that you guys have played this year. Both of the Jesuit games, Mansfield Summit in the tournament over Christmas, the Haltom game. So how is playing in these close games, how is that going to help prepare you guys for a potential deep playoff run?
Well, for sure. We've had some close nail biters this year, some ones that we could have got back, but I've definitely seen that we've kind of grown over the year, like I said, and those games throughout the year, like as we got deeper and deeper in the year, we pulled through in those games. So I think this one will be a fun one. I think it will be a nail biter, and I think we've grown this year as a team, and I think we have the ability to close it out.
So let's talk about mental preparation. I know you spend a lot of time looking at film and looking at how other teams are performing, and so walk me through the way you prepare for games and just the whole mental aspect of the game.
Sure. First of all, I kind of always look at the guy who I'm matched up against, try to figure out what his tendencies are. I figure out on defense who's their main go-to guy. For Plano East, it's DJ Hall. He kind of does everything. He passes out, he facilitates, he scores. So, and then offense, I try to find little details that maybe how to create mismatches for other players. How can we get downhill and score? So yeah, and then when it comes game time, I just try to keep a clear mind, take some deep breaths, and then just step out there and do what I do.
So the team started 4-5, and they're 22-4 over the last 26. When do you feel like the team there was a turning point in the season where you're like, okay, we got this going in the right direction?
Well, that Jesuit win at Jesuit definitely boosted our confidence. But then the next game, we took a tough one to Pierce. But I feel like that loss kind of actually woke up some people and just lit a fire in our guys. And since then, we've been on a roll, and we're not looking back.
So you're in a unique situation. You have a younger brother that's playing on the JV, and he's actually got moved up to varsity. But tell me a little bit about what it's going to be like, or what it's like being on the floor playing with your brother. And next year you guys will probably be playing together as well. So give me a little bit of thoughts on playing with your younger brother.
For sure. It's always been a dream since when I'm a little kid. I bet it's been his too. But just all the hours we've put together. It's just fun to see his face, and we're going to continue to work hard, and hopefully next year he'll step into a bit bigger of an opportunity. But the plan's the plan.
So do you? What are the keys to beating Plano East? What can you guys do to pull off this upset? I mean, a Friday game is going to be big. It's going to be at Coppell High School. What do the Scots have to do to pull off this upset?
Well, I just think we got to be sound on every fundamental aspect. They like to crash the offensive glass. We got to keep them off the offensive glass. They run in transition really well. We got to be able to talk and know who we have, and then we got to stay focused and that together part. We've done a good job over the times, but we can't. They're going to make some runs. That's just part of the game. But we got to stay together, stay mentally sharp, and just be a brotherhood.
Let's talk a little bit about. There's 3 juniors that are on varsity this year. So let's talk a little bit about next year. It looks like the Highland Park program is in good hands. It looks like you guys will be set up for success going into next year. Talk a little bit about that.
So I would say, yeah, we're losing some very key pieces. So we're going to have some younger guys step up. But I feel like we got some mature juniors, mature sophomores for sure that are going to help. We got to stay locked in and really, we got to all grow up together. And I feel like we have a really special group. As of right now, I'm really focused on, right now this season and just one game at a time. There we go.
No, Caden, it's been fun watching you come into the program and fit in with the boys, and to just see how you've grown as a player, and it's been fun to watch. And I hope you guys pull off the upset tomorrow or Friday. Hope you guys pull it off on Friday.
Well, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Okay, I'm Blaine Stribling here. I'm with Jacob Barrio, junior captain for the Highland Park varsity basketball team. Jacob is was a sophomore on varsity, one of 2 returning players from last year's team, and he's currently the captain, one of 2 captains his junior year, so that says a lot about him. Jacob is shooting 36% from the three-point line right now, which is 4th on the team. He is tied for 1st for steals on the team at 1.3 steals per game. He's 2nd in minutes. He's 24 minutes a game, and there's a lot of things that Jacob does that doesn't show up on the stat sheet, by the way. He's a tremendous defensive player, but let's talk a little bit about the mentality of this team right now. The team started off 4-5 on the season, and the team has gone 22-4 since that time. And so what's the mentality of the team right now? We're on an 8-game winning streak relative to kind of what you were guys at the beginning of the season when you were 4-5 and kind of limping along.
Yeah. I think we just play with a lot more confidence, and we're kind of we play harder, I think, just because, especially now it's playoffs, it's like you've been playing with all these guys, your whole basketball career. I don't think I've played a basketball game without strip in, 3 years, so it's, it's weird. But, it's the last time we're playing together, so now it's just, we're playing so much harder, and, we all want to win, and we're all bought into, what we're doing, and we're, have more trust in each other now.
It's great. You can see the chemistry going along as the season has transpired. So let's talk a bit about you personally. You were on varsity last year, more of a role player, and you've been thrust into this leadership role. And let's talk a little bit about your experience going through that transition.
It was a little hard because last year I didn't have that big of a role, but now it's kind of all that pressure was just put on me. But I think just through the season, I've gained more confidence and been able to find my role with the team and stuff. Yeah.
You've definitely been knocking down some outside shots here in some big games here lately. Talk a little bit about the Jesuit game. We won 47-44. You had kind of a rough offensive outing, maybe the first 2 or 3 quarters of that game, and when the game was on the line, you stepped up and knocked down some big threes. You hit the game-winning 3 with 7 seconds left. Walk me through your thought process on how that game played out.
Yeah, the last couple plays, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little scared, I was a little nervous, but I don't know. The first one, it was just I was open, so I shot it, you know. And then the second one, it was like it's like 7 seconds left, you know. I don't know if we're gonna get like a better shot than that, so I just shot it, and luckily it went in. Yeah.
That seemed that spot in that game was our lucky spot. I mean, I think Colin hit one over there. You hit a couple over there. I think Beckett hit one from the right corner. So. Yeah. So you got a great overall game, but I think most people would say you're more of a shutdown defensive player. You've guarded Trey Johnson last year. You've guarded Caleb Steger. A cool attack from last night's game. So walk me through your approach on the defensive end, and why have you been so successful as a defensive player?
I think defense is just effort and like willing to do little stuff and like staying mentally locked into like what you're doing. Like if you're face guarding someone, don't like turn your head or anything like that. Just stare at them, and then just be mentally disciplined to like do what you need to do to keep the ball in front of you, or like get a steal or something. Like do your job pretty much. Like if we're in 4 or 13, just do your job.
Okay. So let's talk about the Highland Park defenses, all the different defenses that are out there. You've got, Peeler's known for his 1-3-1, a man-to-man, different types of zones. But since you're more of a defensive mind, give me an idea of what the different defensive approaches are for the Highland Park program.
I don't know. Sometimes the team's like a little like jittery and they can't handle pressure a lot, we'll just go 13 and then speed them up and stuff, like throw something that they've never seen before, and then we'll just switch it up, go to like 4 if they're killing that, or like if they're killing both of them, we'll just go to man. It's just whatever's working, we'll just stay in it, you know. Yeah,
that's good.
We'll just switch it up sometimes. That's
good. It seems like when we change it up, that it keeps the other team off balance. So.
Yeah.
So what, based on your opinion, we played Plano East in the second game of the year. What do you think we have to do differently to beat this team come Friday? It was the second game of the year. We a pretty much new team with all the lack of returning starters. But what do we have to do as a team to beat Plano East and pull off the upset?
I think we just got to take care of the ball, play discipline, and then play super, super hard. And then, I don't know, just play winning basketball, kind of share the ball, play with confidence. Don't be like just play with confidence, and then take care of the ball, rebound, and then just playing hard.
Okay. So I was going to ask you this: have you sat down and actually thought about visually, or thought about what it's going to feel like if you guys can pull off this upset, knocking off the #1 team in state? I mean, just tell me what that would feel like if you guys were to pull off that upset.
It would feel really good. I was thinking about it in the shower, like before I came here. I was like really, really happy. I was just smiling. I want to win really bad. Like really bad.
So there's been a lot of team dinners this past year. Lots of great food, lots of great company. It's a great team building exercise. But which one of those team dinners was your favorite one?
I really liked Connor Wan's, because his dad made like a really, really, really good steak. And then after we did White Elephant, so it was really, really fun. Yeah.
Nice. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about. You were on the JV Gold your freshman year, and then you got to play varsity, and then you got to play varsity your first playoff game with significant playing time. So talk about that buildup in pressure as you go from one step to the next, JV varsity to playoff experience.
I don't know. It's just I get a lot nervous for like the bigger ones, like the playoffs. That was like one of the most like nervous times of my life. I don't know. It was weird, but. Yeah, but like higher you go, like the more pressure comes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who on the team is the biggest jokester? Who on the team is you would say is the one that cracks the most jokes or does the most pranks?
Beckett or Max?
I I've heard that. I've heard that as well. Well, Jacob, I appreciate your time. I look forward to you guys pulling off the upset on Friday, but you guys played very awesome yesterday, and I'm looking forward to Friday night.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, this is Blaine Stribling. I'm here with senior guard Max Taylor. I've known Max since he was a young kid, back when we were playing YMCA football and basketball and all that. But it's been fun over the years watching you do sports, Max. So, Max is leading the team in three-point percentage. He's shooting 42% from threes. He's also leading the team in free throw percentage at 78%. And his assist to turnover ratio is 1.43, which is fourth on the team. So those are some accolades for Max. So let's talk a little bit about the role that you had at the start of the season, and as you progressed as the season went along, you got thrust into the starting role. So give me an idea of kind of your thought process and how you prepared for each of these different roles that you've been on as the season has gone along.
All right, so in the beginning of the season, I started off coming off the bench around the first quarter, like 2 minutes left. And when I came in, I thought about starting the offense up. Maybe if we're on a slow first quarter, I was thinking about shooting the ball, because if I shot the ball more and I got more of my teammates involved, it made the defenders come up, and which allowed our big men like Jordan and Beckett to get the ball and get more involved. And as I increased, I got more confidence. I started to shoot the ball better. Bell was better off the dribble, which increased my role, my minutes, and I finally started. And now I just feel really comfortable with the basketball in my hand.
And it's definitely played out. I mean, the three-point shooting has been on point. You've made a bunch of big shots, especially in that game last night. The shot at the end of the third quarter. So walk me through that play.
Okay, so before Coach Snowden called all starters in, and Coach P looked at me and goes, "Texas top, Max?" I was like, "Yes, sir." And so he called the play out. We practice the play like almost every day before game days. And he just added it like 2 weeks ago. Because usually we run, like people scout us, we always start with the formation up top. There's different ways. Jordan gets alley-oop sometimes. But sometimes the defense closes in real tight on Jordan. And so everyone says a back screen. I was wide open in the middle. Great pass by Caden finding me. And it was just like practice.
No, it's awesome. I mean, it seems like over the last 2 or 3 years that the Scots have had a lot of buzzer beaters on them, and it's nice. You've had a couple of buzzer beaters here in the last couple of weeks. It's been awesome.
Sure.
So let's talk about you're leading the team in three-point percentage. What does it take to be a successful three-point shooter? And kind of walk me through maybe some things that you do that help you become a good three-point shooter.
First thing I think is confidence. Like, if you're going to shoot the ball, shoot it with confidence. That's the first thing I think of. In the beginning of the season, I was one of the worst three-point shooters on the team, actually. I was like around 23%. That's because I took a long time to shoot the ball first off, and I was just praying that the ball would go in. But now as the season progressed, I've shot a lot more shots. I've gotten a lot more shots up. And when I shoot the ball now, I just think about practice. I don't think at all either. When I catch the ball, I just see the front two strings of the net, and I just think about that, think about my hand inside the rim, and I shoot it. Every time I catch the ball and I'm open, I shoot. I don't really think.
Yeah, so mental pictures, visualization.
Yes, sir.
I had a lot of coaches that said that to me when I was growing up. I mean, just if you visualize it and you see it happen, then you think it might happen. So
yes, sir.
That's awesome. So the team started 4-5, and now we, if you look at the last 26 games, we're 22-6. So let's talk a little bit about the team chemistry, and how is the team different now relative to what it was to start the season?
Start the season, I feel like we were all timid. I mean, we only have 2 returners, and we have 10 people coming off, so we really didn't know how the season was going to go. And so we weren't really that close as a team to start the season off. But as the season progressed and the practice became harder, we became more intense. We'd come to practice ready to compete, and that just grew the team. The team dinners that we have on Mondays, I just feel like as an individual, as a team, we've gotten so much better and so much closer. So we play harder together. And also, I believe after the Pierce game, after we beat Jesuit, after the Pierce game, we kind of saw a little collapse in our team. We weren't really watching film, and then Coach changed some things up, and I feel like we've gone so much better since.
Yeah, you guys are on an 8-game winning streak right now, and the Pierce game was definitely disappointing, but I think sometimes when that happens, it refocuses the team.
Stronger.
Yeah, it makes you stronger. So was there a specific point in the season where you think there was an actual turnaround? Like you could pinpoint?
100% after Pierce. After Pierce, 100%. Because Coach, he really said I'm not this is supposed to be a player-led team, and I'm not going to force y'all to do anything. So if y'all don't want to watch film, if y'all want to come in here and work hard, then we'll just have a banquet, it'll be over with. And so that really that really gave us a lot of drive and a lot of motivation. I think that's why we're here.
Okay.
We're doing so well.
So I hear that you and Henry Beckett are the jokesters, pranksters on the team.
Yeah.
Do you have any funny stories that you can share with us today of a funny story that you guys have done this season?
All right, so there's not really a funny moment between me and Beckett, but it's just a most idiotic, something Beckett would do. So we're messing around with Beckett next to the campfire in Athens tournament, and I think I hit him with a yoga ball. And so I go in my bed, I'm about to go to sleep, we're making s'mores. I open my sheets, and there's just a sticky, warm marshmallow all over my covers. And we had a big game the next day, and I had nowhere to sleep. I think I had to sleep on the floor.
So let's talk about your role. You were on the JV Gold last year, and then you thrust into the varsity as a senior, and had your first playoff experience last night. So was the pressure that much bigger last night relative to what you felt in the regular season for varsity?
If I'm going to be honest, I think the hardest game I've played this season was definitely Jesuit. It was definitely Jesuit the first time we played them, and the second time. The first, because I played junior, I played as a JV, and I played the first starting group played 30 minutes a game, which really improved my game and made me more confident as a player. But the beginning of the season, my first game on varsity was probably my most nerve-wracking game, the first ever game. And after that, my confidence just grew, and my chemistry with my team, I relied on my teammates. I felt so confident going into Tuesday night. I felt great going into that game. We had such a great plan. Coach P watched so much film. He gave us a great game plan on these guys, how they played zones. And so I just felt really confident going into my first playoff game. I felt like we 100% were going to win that game.
Yeah, so I felt like the coaches put together a good game plan against Haltom. And you don't have to divulge anything for Plano East, but what do you think the team has to do to be successful to pull off the upset against?
So our first time playing Plano East, we had 17 turnovers and 17 offensive rebounds. And we started off the game losing by half by 25. And so if we can minimize those mistakes, I feel like it can be really close, because the second half we actually beat them 35-30. So I feel like if we come out and we can shoot the ball well, and we can not turn the ball over and get every missed shot, we can get a rebound, I feel like it's going to be a great game.
Okay. Let's talk about team dinners. Been some good meals throughout the season, some good camaraderie with the team, but which one was your favorite team dinner from the season?
Probably the last one, Ashton's. Ashton's house was awesome, not just because of the food, but we probably shouldn't have done it, but it was Monday, and we played 4-on-4 in his basketball court. He's a big basketball court outside, and we lowered the rims to 7 foot, and I don't think we've ever gone that competitive on a 4-on-4. We were all just having so much fun. It was a great time.
That's awesome. So let's, I was going to ask you, Max, how do you think OU's college basketball team, are they going to make the Final Four this year?
So I haven't really been keeping up with OU, even though it's the school I'm going to. But I've seen some games. I feel like, we have a really good team, and I think we could go far. But Final Four is a little stretch, but I hope so. I mean, I have faith in Oklahoma, and I think that could happen. The team I've been watching, kind of bandwagoning, is Kentucky. They have some really good freshmen on that team, and some of the players I like to model my game after. Rob Dillingham, I'm not close to him, but he's such a cool player to watch. He's such good flashy ball skills. He's a great shooter, and he comes off the bench too.
Yeah. So Max, this is your senior year. This more than likely is going to be the last competitive basketball you're going to be able to play. So kind of give me your thoughts on over the next couple of weeks. It could be the last time you play competitive basketball. Give me your thoughts on that.
It's just every day I see my teammates, or every practice I go to, I really got to soak it in and enjoy it, and really just be there, be present in what I'm doing, because it could be my last practice. So every practice I go to now, it's everything I do it with a purpose, and I do it with a plan. And every game, it's every play, every hustle play, every time I can dive on the floor, every time I can get a rebound, every shot I can shoot, I got to make it, or keeping the ball, not forcing turnovers. It's just so meticulous, because it could be my last game.
And so what have you learned from the Highland Park basketball program that you can apply to life, or what are some things that you learned throughout the 4 years of being in the program to make you a better person?
Doing the little things. That's the one thing I've really stuck with here. There's a lot of things that are big, but like the little things in HP really do matter. Like the team dinners, not everybody do those. The team dinners, being really close to your teammates, passing the ball, like that's something that can carry on in life. And like it's HP shows like and does really good things with stuff that like you need to do in the real world. And Coach Peeler is a really good example of that.
Yeah, so Max, let's talk about the game last night. Like towards the end of the game, I saw a particular play. You actually, I think the ball got taken from you,
yeah.
And then you fought back, and you ended up getting the ball and fell down, and you jumped in the middle of a scrum, and then next thing you know, Highland Park got a timeout, and I was never more proud of you with your just the fortitude of you jumping in the middle of a scrum and getting a. So tell me about that play.
So there's about a minute, 15 seconds left around there, and they were playing man-on-man. I thought I can get by my defender, so I put the ball in front of him, and he tipped it out. And at that moment, we were winning by like 5 or 3, and I knew that could be the play that changed the game. And I was like, this is my last game. Like, this could be the last time I ever play competitive sports, and like a lot of seniors last game too. So like, I'm not gonna be the one who's gonna lose this game. So like, I like jumped over like a defender over me, and I said, I'm getting this ball. Like, if anything, I'm getting on this floor, and I'm getting this ball. So that's what I was thinking.
It was amazing. You got the timeout call, and the other team was mad. They didn't think,
Yeah.
but I mean, it was because of your grit and effort.
Yeah.
We got that play.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. This is Blaine Stribling here. I'm with senior captain Jordan Stribling.
Yep.
He is leading the team in points with 14.3 points per game, leading the rebounder, 6.2 rebounds per game. His VPS is at 2.31, which is a statistic used to kind of give an overall feel for how the player is doing. He's number 1 on the team in that. He's number 1 in 2-point field goal percentage. He's number 1 in plus minus. He's number 1 in minutes played, deflections, steals, blocks. I can go on, but and he's a 3-year varsity player, 2-year starter. He was the defensive player of the year last year. So yeah, that's your resume, Jordan. So so having said that, looking at this year's team, you were one of 2 returners. You and Jacob came back from last year. So now you were really the only one that had significant playoff experience last year. Jacob was on the team. He got in the game, but didn't get a lot of playing time. But so how have you worked with your teammates this past week to try to prepare them mentally and physically for this playoff run that we're in right now?
So first off, I let all the team know that like playoff refs are completely different than district, non-district refs. Like they let the game play more. They won't call as many fouls. So I kind of, I learned that from last year. Basically, you get away with a lot more, so you got to play more aggressive because other teams will do it too because they know the same thing. So I kind of just prepared them for like a playoff atmosphere because it'll be louder, can't hear as well, but you play harder and you get away with more fouls. So it's kind of how I prepare them.
Okay. So I think it's ironic, looking into last year, we won the first round of the playoffs, and we ended up playing Plano Senior High. And this year we won our first round, and now we're playing Plano East, so it's almost like it's deja vu into last year. So having said that, what things are you going to try to do differently than what you did last year to have a better outcome in the second round of the playoffs this year?
Obviously, I think, again, playing to what the refs give you fouls-wise and, playing through the fouls on offense. I think, taking an open shot, even if it's a mid-range, last year McBride had 12 blocks against us. We'd rather get, mid-range than a block shot because there's a higher chance of it going in than big blocks is 0% chance. Definitely going for more rebounds offensively and defensively and, just taking more efficient shots.
Okay. And I know you haven't gotten into the game plan for Plano East, and I don't expect you to talk about it, but the first time you guys played them, talk a little bit about the success that Plano East had against you guys. I mean, if I recall, I think the final was like 70-54, so it was pretty much a blowout. What does Plano East do that's troublesome? They're undefeated, by the way, 34-0.
Yeah, every single player is just good on that team, but I mean, they have no weakness. I think the first time we played them, we actually won the second half, so like it shows, they're beatable, even though they're undefeated this season. We just, it was one of our it was our second game of the year.
Mm-hmm.
We gave up 17 offensive rebounds, which is, double what we're doing now. Turnovers, it was, I think, our all-time high turnover for the season. It just wasn't a great game for us. So, I mean, there's a lot of negatives, but those negatives can lead to positives definitely for the game.
Well, that was the second game of the year for you guys. So, and Plano East, all those guys were starters last year. We played that team last year, and we beat them pretty easily. And all those guys came back last year, so a lot of experience on that team.
True.
Yeah, so let's talk about leadership. Yeah, last year you were in a starting position as a junior, but you weren't a captain, so you were able to kind of stay behind the scenes and do your thing. Now this year you've been thrust into a leadership role and into a captain position. So talk a little bit about the role that you had last year to going into this year, how it's different and how you've handled that.
I think the offense has played through more me this year. Getting double teamed a lot. I looked for the three-pointer like Max or Henry because they could shoot it. Leadership-wise, my voice is heard a lot more. I'm not a loud person, but every time I speak, it's heard. Coach Bueller listens. He'll ask me what defense we should run. And everyone kind of looks to me in that philosophy of defense. But leadership-wise, definitely a bigger role.
Okay. So looking at your game last year to this year, where do you feel like you've improved the most from your game from last year?
I think definitely finishing around the rim, double clutching, yeah. I think my ball handling is a little bit better, my quickness, and I've made a couple threes, so can score from all three spots. I think my defense has gotten a little bit better, play a little harder. Definitely improved in shooting more shots because I try to shoot efficiently and making all my shots. So.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about the growth of the team and the team chemistry. Early in the season, you guys started 4-5, and since that time, you guys are 22-4. I don't think people realize that we're 22-4 over the last 26 games. So let's talk a little bit about what's kind of happened with the team as the season has gone along. What improvements have you seen?
Definitely chemistry. Our turnovers are slowly going down on the average every game. I think we had 10 last game, which isn't, it's not amazing, but it's, lower than our average. We've just been shooting well too. Our 3-point percentage is also going up. And, defensively, we've just been playing a lot harder and trusting each other more and playing less help. Just trusting that our teammate can keep the ball in front of them. That's just where it improved.
Okay. So you were the leading rebounder on the team last year, and you're the leading rebounder on the team this year. So talk a little bit about what do you do? What does it take to be a successful rebounder?
I think definitely knowing your shooters, where they miss, where your shooters miss more. Do they miss left? Do they miss short, long? Just knowing where their rebounds usually go, if they're short rebounds or long rebounds. Because I know Max's misses are always close to the rim. Jacob's are usually longer. Henry's are usually close to the rim, so you just gotta know it. And then obviously reading the rebounds it's very hard to do, but once you master it, it's pretty easy to tell where the ball's gonna go there. If you're underneath the rim, you can tell exactly where the ball's gonna go. But if you're near the free throw line, it's harder to tell. But you slowly pick it up as you play the game. But that's kind of what I like to do.
Okay. And then same question with shot blocking. You led the team last year in blocking shots, and you're doing the same thing this year. What are you doing to how are you successful in blocking people's shots?
So blocking is 99% timing for sure. I know athleticism is a good part of it too, but knowing that the person is going to dunk it, you can block it. It's just going to go up in the air and not in the rim. So I kind of just time it and just trust that they're not going to try and dunk it. And it's pretty easy to get the block.
Okay. I forgot to ask this question. I'm going to go back to the Plano East game. DJ Hall, he scored 26 points against you guys in the first game. What can you do to help shut him down in the second game that we play on Friday?
Like the first game we played, number 22, forgot his name, but you can't give him any space. He's going to shoot if you give him any space. Even if your hand's, in a space, he's going to shoot it. So you just got to be up in his grill. You can't allow him to shoot the mid-range or three. And don't bite on his pump fakes. He does a lot of pump fakes. And, keep him off the offensive glass. He had a lot against us, I think 5 or 6. So just limiting him to his rebounds, mid-range, and that's it.
Okay. So talk a little bit about your dual sport athlete. You're playing basketball right now, and your baseball season's actually official games start this weekend. But let's talk a little bit about how you've balanced between those two sports and being able to play at a high level in 2 different sports.
Yeah, so every day I have 5th period basketball, then I go to 8th period baseball, which is my off period, and then sometimes I'll go straight after that to after school practice of basketball. And it's tough, but I just get recovery. I work on recovery a lot, get good sleep, and I just enjoy it. So it's like, I don't think many people could do it, but I just enjoy it so much that it doesn't really matter to me. That's it.
Okay. So here's a hypothetical, and I think you would know better than anybody else. But let's say you put the starting 5 from last year's Scott's team against the starting 5. You were a starter on both teams, but if they were to play a game like tomorrow, who do you think would win, or who do you think would have the edge in that matchup?
So I think last year's team would have the edge, but this year's team I think plays harder, and I think it'd be closer than people think. And honestly, that this year's team could possibly slip ahead against them, especially because I'm better this year from last year. But I just think our team just plays more hard this year, and we're just play together really well.
Okay, good answer. So how does it feel during the season? There's been times where the other team has game planned against you on offense, and you probably didn't have that feeling last year. So how have you dealt with that additional pressure when you're getting double teamed on offense?
I just take my time when I get the ball in the post or up top and look for my shooters. And I don't really mind shooting 2 shots a game. I mean, JJ Pierce, I was 2 for 2, which is awesome. 100% efficiency. Probably 4 or 5 assists. And I just don't mind getting double teamed, just throwing it out to the shooters.
And about the HP basketball program, how has it helped shape you as made you a better athlete?
So how it shaped me is Coach Peter and Coach Down, they kind of intertwine basketball with life lessons, saying life isn't going to be easy. They tell us not necessarily their life problems, but stuff that could happen in your life. So it's kind of shaped me to realize life isn't easy, and you can't take the easy way out long term, but you could maybe take it out short term. It's also shaped me as almost no days off. Because it's a lot. It's probably 4 or 5 hours in a day, and they want you to be locked in at all times. And if we have a bad day, they'll let us know about it. And they're almost like our parents. They don't want to be necessarily our friends. They want to be our coaches, but they still love us.
Awesome. Well, Jordan, you had a great first playoff game, and we're looking forward to you guys upsetting the #1 team in the state on Friday. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Yep.